Maya stood in front of the forgotten house with her small son Leo holding her hand. The house looked tired and silent, as if it had been waiting for years without company. Tall trees surrounded it, and their shadows moved slowly with the wind. Maya felt unsure, but she did not let it show because Leo was watching her face. She reminded herself that this house was now theirs, and that meant a new start. Her heart carried fear and hope together as she took a deep breath. The letter that brought them here was simple and quiet, just like the town. It said the house once belonged to her uncle, who lived alone and spoke to no one. Maya barely remembered him except for a few childhood visits. Back then he was kind but distant, as if he carried thoughts he never shared. After his passing, the house stayed locked and untouched. Now it waited for Maya and Leo to decide its future. Leo looked up at the tall door and asked if monsters lived inside. Maya smiled and told him houses only remember people, not monsters. She said memories can feel strange, but they cannot hurt you. Leo believed her because he always did. He squeezed her hand and nodded with brave eyes. Together they stepped closer to the door. When Maya pushed the door, it opened slowly with a long tired sound. Cool air brushed their faces like the house was waking up. Inside, the light was low and soft shadows covered the walls. The smell reminded Maya of old books and rain-soaked wood. Leo whispered that the house felt sleepy. Maya felt calm in a way she could not explain. The living room stood still as if time had stopped. White sheets covered the furniture, and dust floated in the light. A clock on the wall showed the same hour again and again. Maya felt a quiet sadness without knowing why. Leo walked ahead, touching the edge of a table. His curiosity filled the space with life. At the back of the house, Maya noticed something unusual. A corridor stretched forward, darker and smoother than the rest of the house. It looked longer than it should have been. The air around it felt warmer and softer. Maya felt her chest tighten as she stared at it. Leo stepped toward it without fear. Maya followed Leo into the corridor, even though her legs felt heavy. The sounds of the house faded as if the world outside disappeared. The walls held framed pictures placed carefully side by side. None of the pictures were labeled, yet each one felt important. Maya sensed stories hidden inside them. Leo stopped and stared at one picture in silence. The picture showed a woman standing beside a young boy. The woman looked very much like Maya, but older and worn. Her eyes carried both strength and sadness. Leo asked why the woman looked like his mother. Maya felt her breath slow as her heart raced. She did not know how to answer. They continued walking as more pictures passed by. Some showed rooms that looked like the house long ago. Others showed moments that felt personal and close. Maya felt emotions rise without clear memories. She wondered if the house remembered her before she remembered it. Leo held her hand tighter than before. At the end of the corridor stood a door that looked newer than the rest. Its surface was smooth and clean, as if protected from time. Maya felt a strong pull toward it, and a warning at the same time. She understood then that this house was not just inherited. It was left behind with purpose and care. Something important waited beyond that door. Maya knelt beside Leo and told him they would stop for now. She said some doors need patience before opening. Leo nodded, though his eyes stayed fixed on the door. The corridor felt alive, as if it listened to them. Maya stood again, knowing their lives had already begun to change. The house had chosen to speak, and this was only the beginning. Maya and Leo returned to the corridor the next morning when sunlight filled the house. The rest of the rooms felt ordinary now, but the corridor still felt different. It was quiet yet warm, as if it welcomed them back. Maya noticed that the pictures looked clearer than before. Some colors seemed brighter, and some faces more familiar. Leo said the corridor felt happy, like it remembered them. They walked slowly this time, stopping at each picture. Maya noticed scenes of a woman raising a child alone. The woman worked, cleaned, cooked, and smiled through tired eyes. The child grew older in each picture, learning, standing, and dreaming. Maya felt her heart pull as if these moments belonged to her. Yet she could not remember living them. Leo pointed to a picture showing a small boy holding a book. The boy looked nervous but proud standing beside the same woman. Maya realized the boy looked like Leo but younger. Her chest felt tight as she wondered how that was possible. The house seemed to show lives, not moments. Lives that felt close to her own. As they moved forward, the corridor seemed to stretch longer. The door at the end felt closer and farther at the same time. Maya heard a soft sound like a whisper without words. It did not scare her but made her feel seen. Leo said it felt like someone was guiding them. Maya chose to trust that feeling. They stopped at a picture that showed the forgotten house alive and bright. Children laughed in the yard, and the windows were open wide. The woman stood on the porch looking peaceful and proud. Maya felt tears rise without sadness. It felt like a promise rather than a memory. A future shaped by care and courage. Maya finally placed her hand on the door at the end. It felt warm and steady beneath her palm. Leo stood close holding her arm with quiet trust. The door opened slowly without sound. Inside was a small room filled with soft light. The room felt safe and calm. In the center of the room stood a wooden table. On it rested a simple box and a folded letter. Maya opened the letter with shaking hands. The words spoke of choices, paths, and healing. It said the house was built to help those who listen. Maya felt understood in a way she never had. The letter spoke of her uncle and his belief in second chances. He believed some places could hold strength for broken hearts. The corridor was created to remind people of who they are, not who they fear becoming. Maya felt warmth spread through her chest. Leo leaned against her, smiling softly. Maya opened the box and found a small key. The key felt light but important. The letter said the key did not open doors. It opened understanding and courage. Maya realized the house reflected inner journeys. Journeys she and Leo had already begun. That night Maya dreamed of walking the corridor alone. The pictures shifted, showing moments of her own life. Struggles, choices, and quiet victories. She woke feeling lighter and clearer. The house did not demand anything from her. It offered support and truth. When morning came, Maya knew their lives were changing. Not through magic but through reflection and strength. The corridor did not change the past. It helped shape the future. Maya looked at Leo with renewed confidence. Together they were ready for what came next. Maya began to notice small changes in the house as days passed. The rooms felt brighter even when the sky outside was gray. Leo laughed more and slept peacefully through the night. The house no longer felt forgotten but quietly alive. Maya felt stronger inside, as if something unseen supported her. The corridor stayed silent yet welcoming whenever she passed. Each evening Maya and Leo walked the corridor together. The pictures slowly shifted, showing new scenes mixed with old ones. Some showed Leo reading with focus and joy. Some showed Maya working and smiling with calm confidence. These images did not feel like predictions. They felt like encouragement shaped into form. One afternoon Leo stopped before a picture that was not there before. It showed him standing tall holding a school bag. Other children stood nearby and smiled at him. Leo looked at Maya and said he wanted to learn more. Maya felt pride fill her chest without fear. She promised him they would find a way. Maya began fixing the house room by room. She cleaned, repaired, and opened windows wide. Neighbors slowly noticed movement and started to greet her. Some offered help, others shared quiet stories. Maya felt part of something again. The house seemed to approve of every step. At night, Maya sat alone in the living room thinking. Her past struggles returned in soft waves. Moments of doubt, fear, and loneliness. But they did not hurt the same way anymore. The corridor had shown her that pain does not define worth. It shapes strength when faced with honesty. One evening Maya walked the corridor alone. The pictures shifted gently as she passed. They showed moments she once felt ashamed of. Times she felt she failed Leo. But the images also showed her standing back up. Maya finally forgave herself in silence. Leo began asking questions about his family history. Maya told him the truth in simple words. About love loss and learning to continue. Leo listened with maturity beyond his age. The corridor showed a picture of them talking. It felt like approval, not judgment. As weeks passed, Maya noticed the corridor growing shorter. The door at the end stayed but felt less distant. The house seemed to respond to growth. As if lessons once needed were now understood. Maya realized the corridor existed to guide, not trap. It faded when purpose was fulfilled. One night a storm hit the town hard. Rain fell heavy and wind shook the trees. Maya held Leo close as thunder echoed. The house stood strong, protecting them. The corridor glowed softly without light. Maya felt deep gratitude. The next morning the corridor looked different. Some pictures were gone, replaced by blank frames. Maya understood the future was now unwritten. Not controlled by fear or past pain. Leo smiled and said the house felt proud. Maya smiled, knowing they were ready. The house no longer whispered lessons loudly. It trusted Maya and Leo to walk forward. The corridor had changed them quietly, deeply. They were no longer visitors but caretakers. Of the house and of their own story. What remained was hope shaped by choice. The house felt complete in a quiet, gentle way as a new season arrived. Sunlight filled the rooms and fresh air moved through open windows. Maya woke each morning with calm instead of worry. Leo moved through the house with confidence and curiosity. The forgotten house now felt like a true home. It no longer held secrets that weighed on the heart. Maya continued repairing the house step by step. She painted walls, fixed shelves, and planted flowers outside. Each small effort brought visible change and inner peace. Neighbors stopped by more, often offering smiles and help. The town slowly opened its arms to Maya and Leo. Belonging grew naturally without force. Leo began attending a nearby school and returned each day excited. He shared stories of learning, friends, and small victories. Maya listened with pride and patience. The corridor now showed fewer pictures but stronger feelings. It reflected growth instead of struggle. Maya understood that progress did not need proof. One afternoon Maya walked the corridor alone one last time. The frames were empty but warm. No memories, no warnings, no instructions. Just space ready for new meaning. She felt no fear standing there. Only gratitude for what had been given. At the end of the corridor the door remained open. The small room was empty except for sunlight. The table was gone, and so was the box. Maya smiled, knowing the house trusted her now. Nothing more needed to be revealed. Everything important lived within her. Maya realized the house never changed their lives directly. It helped them see their own strength clearly. The corridor was a mirror, not a path. It showed who they were when they doubted themselves. Now they no longer needed reflection. They knew their worth. As months passed, the house became a place of warmth and laughter. Leo invited friends and Maya shared meals with neighbors. Stories filled the rooms instead of silence. The house no longer felt forgotten. It became a place where people felt safe. A place that healed without words. One evening Maya sat on the porch watching the sky change colors. Leo sat beside her, leaning gently against her arm. They talked about dreams, plans, and hopes. Maya felt proud of how far they had come. Not because life became easy, but because they faced it together. The corridor eventually faded into an ordinary hallway. The walls became simple and quiet. Maya noticed but did not feel loss. The house had given what it needed to give. It trusted them to carry forward. That was enough. The forgotten house was no longer forgotten. It lived through care, courage, and love. Maya and Leo became its heart. And the house became their shelter. Not through mystery but through meaning. A beginning shaped by choice and strength.